what do you see as one of the most important things we can do to positively impact the relationships between staff members and minority students? And both of you two have already alluded to the answers to what we can do to bridge that gap and to make that relationship stronger. And it's outside of the classroom. It's during the social times. It's before school, during passing times, after school, during sporting events. Those are the times where those relationships, those positive relationships, can be forged. And I think if we start that right away at the beginning of the school year, I think we can begin to bridge that gap. And it's right now it's a pretty big gap that we have right now, and we can begin to build that bridge and get that trust going between students and staff members. Because the one thing that we as as students and minorities as a whole, even adults, when we deal with race relations and diversity and equity, the one thing that we always fall back on is lack of trust between white people and minorities, and between us.
Yes.
And the reason why there is a lot of mistrust is because there's not a lot of communication.
Right.
There's not a lot of honest communication,
Right.
where it's just open and honest. And if we begin to have that open and honest communication between staff members and students, we can begin to build trust between the students and the staff members. And I think that's key. But it has to. And if you only do it during classroom time, we're not solving the problem.
Right. And earlier Chad brought up a really good point about how we're trying to push the faculty to make more of a extra effort to go and reach out to these kids during passing times, during social times, during wherever outside the classroom. But that may end up meaning that you have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yep.
So seeing hallways, going through hallways you don't normally go through, interacting with kids you normally don't interact, interacting with minority students that you might not want to interact with. Maybe they're
Yep.
misbehaving all the time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But do you misbehaving kids, do they just not get treatment? Do you just leave them alone?
Well, but Julian said it perfectly. Yeah. It's easy to have a relationship with Jacob Davis. As a staff member, it's easy for me to go and talk to you. Because it's a natural, it's an organic relationship. You don't have to try. There's no discomfort in that relationship because it's not uncomfortable.
Right.
Now there's a bunch of other students, minority students
Minorities
that are not Jacob Davis.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is, because as a staff member, I will naturally go to my comfort zone. I'm going to go to Julian Hines.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because when Julian Hines was here, teachers always would navigate towards Julian Hines and have that relationship. They would have a natural, organic relationship with a positive, strong, young black male in Julian Hines because it was easy. But how many students did they not talk to? Did they avoid? How many young black males did not get that same attention that Julian?
Who did they miss out on?
Because Julian and Jacob Davis did not need that as much support as some of the kids that are at the bottom. That's just being honest.
Yeah.
It's honest.
Well, we were and me and Julian were very fortunate, right? I mean,
Right.
we were very fortunate. We came up in households that, said you study hard, you work hard, you be disciplined.
Take care of your business.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
coming to
yes.
school.
Right.
Parents that are involved, but also staff members need to understand that. But everyone you and I, even though we have similar values at this table, we all come from a different black experience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So not everyone is going to have the same experience or going through the same thing. There were some things that these kids were going through that I couldn't relate to.
But it goes back to the foundation to the grassroots, how do you figure that out? How would I find that out as a
I had to
staff
make a point to meet you. I didn't meet you halfway. I came to you.
member? Right.
That was my job when I was working here. I didn't come halfway, all the way. Hi, I'm Mr. Hines.
And not just go to the Julians, not just go to the Jacobs.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't, no.
Because quite frankly, those kids at the bottom, they need it maybe more than we do in a lot of ways.
Definitely, they.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
We really were fine. You
Yeah.
didn't have to say anything
Yeah.
to me
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
natural that we had a
Yeah.
conversation. I'm
Right.
glad for the
But-
relationship. But
yeah.
really, you really could have been spending more time on a lot. There's a lot of names running through my mind right now. And I still felt like when I was employed here, I saw the same students that were ignored when I was a student. And then working here, I saw the same stories again.
right.
But now I'm in a different perspective. I'm like, wow, no one's talking to you. No one's even giving, not even communication, but body language. Just show up and be around. You don't gotta go upstairs all the time. Just walk down the hall. Then come right back in the passing time. You'll be surprised what you can do.
So the one of the best things that pieces of advice that I could give personally, and just to get out of our own comfort zone as staff members, is just to start with is to show your face. Is to plant that seed in that student's life that you are going to be around.
Like we talked about, some of these kids live inconsistent lives.
Yes.
So I'll look back at the experience working here. My biggest lesson I ever learned after leaving was my job was to be consistent. And there were a lot of times I was inconsistent. And that was such a disservice to the students. And now I realize we all need to be on the same page and be consistent, because these kids live inconsistent lives. Some of them
Right.
don't know where they're gonna go tonight.
Right.
Some of them do not have a consistent adult period.
Right.
Anything.
hmm
Anything.
So if we can start that will be collectively our word of advice, something that we could share with the staff members, is that if we could just start those grassroots relationships that
From the very beginning.
Yes.
From the very beginning, right?
Right.
When they come in. the
Right,
door,
when they come in.
come in the door. Yeah.
Not next week.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't waste any time.
So I'd like to thank Julian, I'd like to thank Jacob,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
Thank
Chad.
you, Eastview.
and thank the staff members for allowing us to share our time with you. And we hope that we start off building and forging positive relationships with not just minority students, but with all students here at ESU, because we want this to be an entire family that we build up and that we continue to have positive relationships with. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.